Okay. So this year we're gonna talk about the palm sander. Now, when we get into if we get into making Muskoka chairs, or making a lot of something, and we have a person that's going to use the palm sander, pretty much all both periods, you should use an N95 because it gets very dusty, and this here dust is very, very fine. If it gets in your lungs, it's very carcinogenic, and you can get lung cancer. Like, you're not going to get it in using it for one day. But if you were working someplace and you're working there for a couple of years, whatever, and it was really dusty, very, very wise to wear something like this. Now this here, it has two little straps, and it has a nice little piece of sponge there on the top. So you were to put this over your face, put it over your nose, just give it a little bend over your nose so no air gets inside. If you wanted, you can put both right over so it locks. As you can see, it locks right on your face. Now the only bad thing about this sometimes is if it doesn't pinch on your nose, when you breathe, it will start fogging up the inside of your glasses. So make sure it locks on pretty good. Put your safety glasses on. Now this here, it has a Velcro circle on it right here to accept any different types of grit. Now we have 80 grit right up to 220 grit. So the 80 grit is more coarse. So if the board is really rough and you need to get out a lot of imperfections, you put on 80 grit and you work your way up all the way up to 220 grit. Now to put it on, self-explanatory, you just put it right on the circle, you give it a tap. Now this one here you can tell is really, really dusty, so it's telling me that there's a lot of sawdust already inside the bag. Now if we want it, before you start working, you loosen it off and you take out all the dust that's on the inside of it, right? So if you were to empty that, so you put it back on, and lock it on. As you can see, there's an on-off button. Turn it on. Now if I wanted to sand this, the board's nice and flat. Put the even pressure down. And you go in a circular motion. Shut it off. Now this one here, it also has speeds on the side. So if you turn it on, if you wanted it to go faster, this is the fastest, and if you wanted to go slower and have a more smooth finish, you can turn it right down to as slow as possible. Now you only use this as when it's 220 grit and you want a really, really good finish. So you would take that and it would go nice and slow. And it doesn't want to shoot it out of your hand. And it'll make it smoother than a baby's butt for you. So shut it off. When you're done, like I showed you before, take that off, get rid of all the dust, put it back on, lock it back up, and put it back accordingly. Okay? And that's it for the palm sander.